Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons on 93.7 The Ticket. It is the Get Your Happy On Hour. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I got to give a big shout out to Matt Warner, Empire Fencing out there in Waverly, Nebraska, man. Those guys have been supporting me for quite a while now, and I just want to say thank you. Never take anything for granted. You know, it is Father's Day, and I'll be real honest with you. Father's Day hits a little different for me because my father's in heaven. But for all of you that do have fathers, I hope y'all appreciate them, and I think it's very important that you enjoy the time that you have with them because life is so unpredictable. But you know, speaking of unpredictable, life also throws a lot of trials and tribulations and difficult times in your path. And I just want to touch on that just briefly because I have a guest tonight that has experienced difficulties and been through some trials and tribulations, but has come out on the other side in a positive space and is doing real positive things. And I look for stories like that to share with you guys because, you know, a lot of people are going through things and, you know, they're doing it on their own and they're kind of doing it in private. So we make it public here. You know, we don't try to sugarcoat things because I feel like if you really want to help people, you have to, sometimes you got to take a couple of hits, as they say, take one for the team. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. I have got to introduce my guest, Jay Keys.
Hey, what's happening? hey, I'm here to get happy now. Come on now.
hey, let me tell y'all just a little bit about him, but I want him to tell his own stuff. But Jay Keys is a very special individual. I'm so proud of him, and we'll get into that a little more, but I want to start off by saying, Jay Keys, man, let everyone know where are you from, man?
Well, my first time here, man, let me start off by saying I appreciate you, Ricky, for allowing me to be in this position to come talk and to share my story and hopefully provide some motivation and inspiration for somebody else.
Absolutely.
But just starting off, for those that don't know, again, my name is Jay Keys. Originally, I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. That's my hometown. But now being 43, I've been in Nebraska since I was about 13. My father was in the military. He's a pastor. And so when he retired, he said, let's go to Nebraska. let's go to Nebraska. Now, the only reason he said that, though, was because he was living in Guam. And he said, all right, we're gonna let Jason decide, you know. And he looked, he said, where you want to go? And I said, well, I've never seen snow. And that was it. And that was it. He said, okay, we ain't never seen snow. Okay, well, I got a place for you. And so yeah, we came to Nebraska, man, and we settled. And this has been home. Okay. Nebraska has been home since then, like I said, since 13. And I'm 43 right now, man. I'm blessed to be here.
Well, let me ask you this now. Growing up, well, basically you started off in school here in Omaha.
Yeah, absolutely. High school. So I went to Omaha North.
Okay.
Shout out to Vikings, VL, baby.
Okay.
You know.
36 and
Come on, man. Right in the neighborhood. You feel me? But yeah, man, I had a wonderful experience, man, with high school. You know, matriculated through that. I excelled at ROTC, especially with the whole military background, man. Ended up being like battalion commander, then brigade commander in 98. Grateful for that experience. Didn't know that time was really a time for me to develop as a leader and to understand where my skill set sat. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that then, but going through life, and I can say from that time to now that I fully understand and embrace that gift. And have been moving in it ever since because of the circumstances I went through.
When you finished high school there in Omaha, what was the next move for Jay Keys?
Jay Keys had to figure it out, man, because Pops wasn't playing. You know, it was, hey, he come from the generation go to school. Yeah, you know, the go to school generation. It was that, you know, our parents, they worked hard and that they saw the way to excel and get to the next level in this world is to get a good education, educate yourself, and then use that education to excel in corporate America. And so went to college, found out college wasn't for me. Hey, went to college and had a little bit too much fun. But understanding that it took me, and still it took me a while to figure it out even then. Like I said, I went to Wayne State College, went there for a year, had an incredible time, met some of the most dopest people that I know to this day still during that time. But I didn't take advantage of what was the opportunities that were available to me.
Yeah, got it.
And decided after that, man, like, maybe school isn't for me. What else am I good at? And music was the thing, man.
Wow. Okay. So after a year of college, you just decided you figured out what you wanted to do, which was music.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I've been playing organ and piano. I've been a musical individual since that time, about 13, 14, when I stumbled in my father's room at I think about 2, 3 in the morning and said to him, "Hey, Pops, God told me I can play the organ." And he sat up and looked at me and said, "Boy, if you don't go back to bed, ain't nobody trying to hear that mess. Take your butt back to bed." You know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to hear that. But at the same time, he acknowledged the gift the next morning. He said, "Hey, I know what you said to me last night, but I want to put you on the organ on Friday then." And so for that Friday night, I sat down in front of the organ with no formal lessons. Nobody taught me anything. And God just imparted the understanding of music in me. I asked God, I said, "Man, if you don't give me nothing else, give me good ears. I want to be able to hear and listen and be able to interpret what I'm hearing and listening to myself." Because there are certain organists during that time that told me to my face, like, I said, "Hey, man, I'd love to sit down with you. And I'm a young kid, man. I'd love to sit down with you and learn. And man, nah, I can't do that, man. I don't need nobody else having my style." And
wow.
And here you are, telling a 14-year-old kid, these type of things and not understanding the impact that had. But I'm grateful that those guys told me that.
Right.
It forced me. It forced me to look inward and figure out what I needed to do with the gift that I was given and expand on that. And so came back from college, really, really got into the music while still playing for my dad at church. But really, really got into the music, formed a group, a label with a few guys I met in college. And we came back to Omaha, man. And that was about 99, 2000. And we just began the process of creation. Okay. What do we want to sound like? What do we want to look like? All of those things started coming together. And musically, we were doing great. We created a sound and a movement, back then, small town records. That's who we were. And from that movement, our lives began to change and grow, and other opportunities musically started to show up. But when you are in the music and the industry of music, there are things that are meant to come along and to stumble you.
I am well aware of the stumble. I was sitting here thinking when you was talking, I was like, you're off to such a great start. And it's just, and this is just my opinion, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like every time a person is off to a great start in something, the devil has a way of just sticking a little roadblock in front of them.
Come on, man. Because here's the thing, like, I'm a big proponent of accountability, right?
Right.
I've come to the conclusion, like, I don't sit around and say, well, the devil made me do it. Because if somebody made me do something, that means they had control over me. And if I know nobody has control over me, then what I'm thinking is the devil, quote unquote, is actually me succumbing to those negative human thoughts that I have in my mind on a consistent basis.
Correct.
I've learned that the human mind, right? When you're introduced to a thought or somebody mentions something to you, 9 times out of 10, your mind is going to automatically go to the negative side of it. Correct. No matter what the situation is. And so being able to get to this point in my life where when I receive information, I don't just receive it and automatically think negative. I receive it and I say, how can I apply this to my life now? But that took a while to get there.
Yeah.
Where I'm at now, to be able to talk about that, took a while to get there, man.
So when you ran into these these little obstacles.
Yeah.
One of them must have actually won a little bit with you.
Oh man, come on, say less.
Yes, I mean, the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm sitting here thinking to myself how we met.
Yeah. So starting off that situation. So in 2009, I was fortunate enough to sign a minor label deal with the group ABN down in Texas. And I was grateful for that opportunity. Put together an album, was putting together, had the second one recorded. The deal was to do 3 albums in 3 years. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, I can take care of that. They just sent one of my homies upstate. So it's like, okay, everything was not falling on me. And so being in that position where guys are like, okay, we want to hear your music. We want to hear what you're working with. I was afforded the opportunity. Unfortunately, the other side of the streets, if you will, was more decided to take more precedence over my life. And in that, I was incarcerated in 2011. And so unlawful discharge of a firearm, I'm not ashamed. And understanding that mistake was the catalyst that I needed in order to meet the man that I sit next to today, who has been one of my greatest inspirations since we met. And I remember being in the SAU unit and the substance abuse unit, and I was a mentor during that time. However, meeting Ricky, hearing his story as he shared with us in that prison about being in that same prison and sharing those stories with us, man. You signed my book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I got the thing put up, man.
So you held on to it.
I held on to it because
that's cool.
There was something in me that changed the day we met.
Well, I remember you made this comment. You said, because, oh yeah, by the way, we'll get to this in a minute too, but this young man is actually in my documentary.
Hey,
look like somebody.
Come on.
He has a very big part in there, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I remember you saying something, because that day when I came, yeah, you wasn't, people wasn't really feeling, man, we got somebody coming to speak or something. You was like, man, whatever.
Come on, man.
And it kind of, and it actually turned out good, and for that I'm grateful. But, meeting you inside, it really kind of brought things back full circle for me.
Yeah.
Because when you're inside, yes, we're not denying we did something to put ourselves there.
Right.
But when you're inside, man, it's a whole different world.
Right.
It's a whole different world. I mean, and I'm not advocating anyone to go to prison. But I'm just trying to give you a peek inside without having to actually go through the process.
Absolutely.
It's not something that I would recommend for anyone. All of you that are
unless you've exhausted all your other options for life. I'm just saying, because we get opportunities, but it's like, man, we just that human nature, man. It's been such a huge thing for me. Again, accountability. To just say, it's me. It's nobody else. I'm not pointing. I don't want to point the finger at anybody else.
Right.
Because it's not about them.
Right.
It's been the most selfless act to be selfish about my sobriety, to be selfish about my heart, to be selfish about my happiness. Right. Those things for me have been the selfless acts that I needed in order to say, you know what? I care about me enough to do something better for me, and I only hope that can help somebody else.
And that's the whole goal. I mean, helping others really helps us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people don't quite understand that part of it, but that's okay. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with 93.7 The Ticket and more with Jay Keys, man. Don't y'all go nowhere.
Let's go.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Have a passion for the outdoors? Nebraska Game and Parks is seeking seasonal teammates. Work in scenic state parks, contribute to vital research projects, and care for our natural spaces. Seasonal staff assist with special events, provide customer service to outdoor enthusiasts, and make a difference for conservation. Join the adventure at outdoornebraska.gov. Apply online today. Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Old School with DP and J.
Everybody's going to focus on his intensities and antics. I think he would be just fine because Billy Donovan is doing well, right? And he's intense as all get out. But how do you think he would transition to the NBA as a coach? And then also, what does this tell you about the Lakers?
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receivers. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, and we're back. Ben, you got any comment over there for me?
Yeah, we got. Am I on? Yeah, I'm on. It's just quieter for some reason. Yeah, we got a comment. We had Theola comment saying Happy Father's Day, Ricky.
Well, thank you very much, Theola. I think Theola down in Arizona, man. She's down there doing big things, but we're trying to get her back to Omaha.
Yeah, and then she said, make sure Ben eats. And
we just talked about that.
I haven't been here as long as I usually am, so I'm good today.
Well, Theola, he's making excuses, as you can hear. See?
No, this is the truth.
Yeah, see, Ben
we speak nothing but the truth.
Yeah, Ben's allergic to eating. I done figured it out.
No, it's a human. It's a human essential. So I do eat.
Yeah, he's a 20-year-old, so he can go longer than
he got a lot of reserve energy.
I guess.
We're going to let Ben make it. Ben said he can make it. We're going to believe in him.
There it is.
But anyways, hey, back to you, Jay. I just want to, kind of finish up where we were. You was talking about how how we met.
Yeah.
On the inside. And one thing about it is when you're dealing with people that are on the inside, it's not always a positive experience because everybody's going through stuff just like they do on the outside.
Absolutely.
And only problem is on the inside, you're in a confined space. So those things seem to come to a head pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Outside, you can get away from people.
Come on. You got to deal with it when you're in there.
Yeah, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I just want people to know we are not making excuses for being inside.
Nah.
We are just saying once you make the choices that put you inside,
come on,
this is what you have to learn how to deal with. Which really, much as I hate to admit to this, is true. But being inside taught me how to live outside.
It's a different thought process. I was just speaking to somebody the other day, and talking about the way that people respect or show respect inside.
Yeah,
is a total contrast to how people show respect outside.
Correct.
Okay. And in that, I had to relearn how to deal with people that didn't understand respect at the level that I now was living at.
Correct.
It's different when you're at Walmart and you're overwhelmed by the many choices that you have. And then on top of that, then an old lady shoulder checks you or steps on the back of your shoes and then looks at you and just keeps walking like it's nothing. And you have to say to yourself, okay, well, wait a minute now. There's some things going on with me because in those moments, you want to be triggered. You want to say something. You want to go back to old behaviors, old attitudes.
Right.
But again, that choice, man, making the choice in the moment. I came up with this a while back and I said, man, I need 5 seconds to think about what I'm thinking about. That if I can stay there.
That's a good concept. 5 seconds to think about what you're thinking about. I like that.
Because sometimes you need to think about the pre-thought before the thought that leads to the action.
Yes.
Because me analyzing the pre-thought, it helped me to, okay, why am I thinking like this?
Right.
Why do I want to go and do this negative thing? Why do I want to? And when I kept asking myself why and being sincere about it, it helped me to begin to seek out the help, seek out the advice, right? Wise counsel, right? Again, meeting you in Tecumseh there's a lot of guys who I was with in that room that day. There's a few guys who are out, but then there's a lot of guys that went back.
Right.
But the mission stayed the same in what you do. And when I saw and understood that, and your story helped me to fully understand forgiveness, like that was huge for me, man. Like to know where you had been and then the people that in probably any other situation or circumstance probably would have turned their back,
right?
But didn't turn their back on you and said, I know you and I know what you can do. And that right there, man, again, I can't say it enough, man, how much you yourself, your story, what you do to this day is a part of my inspiration. Like you're a legend that I can actually physically reach out and touch and call and have a conversation with. And I'm grateful for that, because guys who are not sure, guys who are unsure, guys who or girls, anybody who's unsure about their path, unsure about where to go, unsure about addiction, they can look to someone like you and say, if he can do it, I know I can.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because really and truly, that's part of my inspiration too, because my story is so bad, from the being locked up multiple times, going in and out of treatment centers, multiple times. When you go through all of that, it in a unique type of way, it actually gives you credibility with people that are maybe struggling.
Absolutely.
Because I've noticed that a lot of times when people are struggling, the first thing they want to do is discredit the person that's trying to help them.
Absolutely.
And for example purposes, let's say a person has got a drinking problem, and then he has to go to rehab. And then he goes into rehab, and the first thing, instead of him wanting to look at his drinking problem, he wants to know the person that's helping you. Have you ever had a drink?
Yeah. Can you tell me about this?
Can you tell me, have you been locked up? And when they start that, to me, that's automatically a deflection.
Absolutely.
You ain't trying to look at the problem. You're trying to find a way out of helping yourself by discrediting anyone that's trying to help you. I'm not saying a person that has never drank or has never been incarcerated can't help you, but it's harder for them to use those tactics against a person that has been in that situation.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to capitalize on. And once I throw myself under the bus, then when they see all these tire tracks
and all,
on my back, then they be like, well, like you said, man, if he can do it, there's hope for me.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I try to emphasize a lot is, if I throw myself under the bus and it helps someone else maybe make a different choice, then mission accomplished.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm at.
And that's what I basically did. I didn't know at the time that you was there when I went in there, because I think that was back in that was 2014.
14, about that.
15, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And, when I went in there, I was just going in there to see if I could help at least one person.
Come on. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So for you to give me my props, man, I appreciate that. I'm very humbled by that, because I'm that type of person where I don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
I know you're saying that because that's what you feel.
Absolutely.
Because one thing I do know about you is, you ain't gonna say nothing you don't believe.
Come on now. I don't, and not in me.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You already did your time. And then bounce back.
Yeah.
And speaking of bouncing back, I would like to talk about when you transition from back into society.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, man?
Man, it was daunting. Let me say that. First time felon. First thing, I got 8 to 20 years, and this is my first case. I hadn't been locked up, I hadn't even been to jail at this point. So this is my first time going through that. And what I like to tell people is that there's a detachment that happens when you go in. You detach from society. You detach from, all the amenities and the things that made you comfortable. You have to detach from those things in order to survive mentally, emotionally, and or physically while you're incarcerated. But getting out, there's the reattachment.
Right.
There's the detachment that happens to prison. Because I remember getting my ticket, getting ready to go, and that for the next few days, it seemed like the day room was louder. Guys were getting on my nerves. Everybody's asking for something. Somebody wants this, they need that. And I'm just like, why am I so annoyed? I've dealt with this for the last 5-6 years. Why now I'm detaching and reattaching back into society? But I had to accept that. Right. I had to accept and acknowledge the fact that I was reattaching, and let go of anything that would lead me back. I had to make the decision to say, all right, I'm getting out. I'm not going to do any nefarious activities. I'm going to stay away from illegal and illicit substances. You know what I mean? I'm going to totally just be different.
What they say, I'm going to mind.
I'm going to mind mine. That's about it. You know what I mean? And doing that. And let me also say this. My father, again, rest in peace, died in 2019 on Easter, but he was a constant beacon for support. He always was there. He never turned his back on me in spite of my situation.
Yes.
For me, that was that, and that's for me. I know everybody doesn't have access to that. But I will say for me, that form of support was worth its weight in gold. It helped me understand more about who I was. It helped me understand my goals and the things that I wanted to accomplish to make me happy. Right, and in turn, hopefully that happiness helps somebody else.
Correct.
And when he passed in 2019 was again, that was a time when I understood that I think all fathers want their sons to kind of like follow in their path, right? You know, especially let's talk about this on Father's Day. Like all dads, they want to raise their kids and be like, hey, you know, if they play football, hey, son, let's get out here and let's throw the pigskin around or whatever the case, any type of sports or activity. So my father being a preacher, I'm sure deep down inside there was something in him that was like, all right, let me put everything in place so my son can take the reins when I step away or when I pass. And I remember my mother saying this for years, and she still says this to this day. You don't have to be no preacher in the pulpit to have that same impact on people.
Correct.
It's not about standing in front of folk just to hoop and holler and to try to pass around a collection plate, as opposed to saying, I want to help someone fight those demons on the inside. I want to help somebody be greater. I want to help somebody do great things. I want to help people expand on their skill sets and their knowledge and their wisdom. And then most of all, I want them to get their happy on. You know what I'm saying? They got to get their happy on, man.
Man, you know, it's so funny when you say that because I make a big deal out of happiness.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of people, you know, they question, like, man, how can you be happy every day? Well, you know, maybe, I don't know if this will work or if this applies to everybody, but in my life, when you've been to prison 4 times, when you've been to 10 treatment centers and graduated 9 of them, I just refuse to believe that anything that I'm doing now that's free.
Yeah.
I mean, well, for the last 15 years of clean and sober living,
come on,
my worst days are not near as bad as being incarcerated.
Come on, man. And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is. And you know, and out of fairness, because of most people haven't put themselves in situations that I have put myself in, I have to respect the fact that they can't see why I'm happy every day.
Come on, man.
I get that.
Yeah.
But you know, unfortunately, I'm very serious about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop being that because someone don't understand it.
Come on.
Because I see a lot of people doing things that I don't understand, and they ain't trying to stop because I don't understand.
Come on, man.
So I figure being happy is a positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I make these little videos.
Yeah.
And
you make big videos, man. Come on.
But everybody that see them, they laugh at me because they know I can't dance. But see, the point is, they're laughing.
Happy.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Come on.
I'm not trying to get to Dancing with the Stars. I'm not trying. That ain't the mission. The mission is to make people laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and for a person, I'm 63 years old. And for a 63-year-old person to get on social media and dance or try to dance, even if it's the same dance I've been doing for 40 years.
Come on.
If it makes you laugh, mission accomplished.
There it is.
And that's what it's all about.
Hey, Ricky,
Yes,
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And it could be for either of you.
Okay.
I want to ask about after you get out of prison, I want to talk about, you know, being reintroduced into society and saying you've done your time. But, you know, like when you go and say, try to get a job,
right?
They're like, It's, have you ever been to prison before?
Yeah.
That's a question that has to be,
Yeah.
and that's just one
Yeah.
thing. And there's a bunch of other things that, it's always a caveat. Well, you were in prison. It's like, I want to ask like about that. You did your time. Why is it still, like that? I just want to get your opinion on that.
Well, and now I will say, if I'm not mistaken, that that's something that I believe they're taking off of applications now.
Yeah,
and
that was this one. Yeah,
wonderful. That is a great thing for individuals that are serious about reintegrating back into society. And I reiterate, serious about reintegrating. Because there's the other side of the coin. There is the side that says you got guys and girls who are still addicted to the lifestyle.
Right.
And there isn't a program, there isn't a conversation, there's a lot of times there's nothing except for themselves and their experience that will get them through to the other side of it, right? Nebraska has done a wonderful job with programs that are for felons. There's a laundry list of jobs that will hire, but are you willing to do the work? Man, when I got out, man, I took a job as a seamstress. I sold lawnmower bags. I sold lawnmower bags for about a year and a half with a whole group of about 20 to 25 little Hispanic women, and barely spoke English, and I'm the only brother in there. The only one. But I put myself out there. Because I understood that something, especially at this point in my life, something was better than nothing. I needed to start somewhere.
Yeah,
correct.
I sold when I was in prison, so we even talk. So again, skill sets. I had never sold. Got to prison, and you can get a job at the sewing shop, man. You can make coat, all the coats that we wear, the underwear that we wear. So everything that we wearing in prison, like I'm down there making with my guys, right? And not understanding then that if I can do well at this, I can now leave prison with something I didn't have.
Right.
The judge thought he was doing me a disservice. Man, get your behind in prison.
Right.
He thought that. I decided I'm going to take what I learned in here and I'm going to apply it to the outside. Right. Accountability, man. I can't push it enough, because like Thomas Fleming is one of my best friends. Did over 30 years and he's free now, man. Time will either prove you or expose you, right? So
correct.
If you as an individual decide I'm ready to make the change, everything around you, in you, all of that will also make the changes. So taking a job that they're only paying $10 an hour, to sit in this sweatshop, sewing all day long, 10 to 12 hours a day, was something that's the pride I was willing to swallow. I had to take account and say, I'm willing to swallow my pride in order to be better. From that job, I was able to use that experience then to be like, let me start filling out some other applications, other places, and say, yes, I did this time, but somebody afforded me an opportunity. I took advantage of the opportunity, and now I have work experience. Now I have a year and a half of work experience that I can put out to somebody else and say that I had this responsibility, that responsibility, and I use that to excel me to the next level. My next job was Lowe's years. Right after that, they hire felons. Easy pie. I want to be one of the guys that takes away the excuses.
Correct.
In your question, it's loaded with excuses.
Yeah.
Right. But it takes guys like Ricky, who have gone through it and have come out on the other side to say that I did this. I took responsibility for me, nobody else. Nobody else has this. It's me and my life. And once he did that selfless act to be selfish about him, for anybody, man, I think it's easy after that.
Yeah.
Life is going life.
Yeah,
life is going to life, whether
Right.
you're incarcerated or not,
Yeah.
whether you're addicted to something or not.
Yeah.
Life is going to life, because this is where we're at with whether it's the economy, whether it's rising gas prices or food prices, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Families are strapped and everybody's going through something. But there has to be people in this world who were meant to give motivation, who were meant to inspire, who were meant to take away the excuses, and hopefully who were meant to help others reach their maximum potential, man. So I know I said a lot. I hope I answered it, man. I hope I made somebody satisfied.
I'm going to say this.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, you did. You covered everything. And the only thing I could really add to that is one thing that I do know about being incarcerated so many times. Some of the smartest people I know are incarcerated.
Come on. Some of the most business-minded individuals.
Yeah, I mean, they're very intelligent. It's just they got caught doing something they ain't had no business.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't because they were just dumb people.
Right.
They may have did a dumb act.
Right.
But when you get free, and like I piggyback what you're saying,
yeah,
when you're willing to do whatever it takes you're not going to start off with a $100 an hour job.
Yeah.
Just because that's just the way it's set up. But if you're willing and you're humble.
Yeah.
And even after you get going, you got to remain humble.
Come on.
If you can't remain humble, man, you might as well go on back down there, because you're going to end up doing what you do. I mean,
Grandma and Grandpa.
it is what it is, so I don't make excuses for that either. Excuses, anybody has one of them,
Yeah.
and I feel like I know people that got an excuse for every, or they got an excuse for every problem.
Come on. And a problem for every excuse.
Yeah, a problem for every excuse. So what I'm saying is, since we know that,
yeah,
then you just make smart choices that don't make sense to nobody but you.
Come on. Yes, sir.
Real
Yes, sir.
simple.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back and wrap this thing up. Don't y'all go nowhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Get So Happy On Hour. We'll be right back.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online online at prg-ne.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Hey, before we get back to J. Keys, Ben, we got anybody else over there commenting?
Yeah, we had a few more comments.
What we got?
Theola commented again saying, appreciate your transparency/testimony, Jay.
Gratitude. Much gratitude. Absolutely.
And then Brett said, happy Father's Day to all. Keep doing big things, big bruh.
Okay, little brother down there in Tulsa, I see you doing big things.
And then Sailor Neptune said, drips here, I see you.
What?
Yeah.
She said, drip, sir. Drip.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, we don't have a lot of time left, but I want to give Jay Keys some time to talk about what he's currently doing, man.
Absolutely, man. Grateful for this opportunity. Long story short, man, once I decided that music was going to be the catalyst that I wanted to focus on the skill sets that I had when it comes to music, which is actually production. So for those that don't know, I'm a producer that is what I do. I produce music, and I'm not just on one genre. So a plethora of music, even country music. And so within the last year, I'm grateful for our partnership. So Triune Beats is the name of my company with my partner, Flame Classic.
Flame Classic!
Hey, Mr. Fantastic. You feel me? Shout out to my guy. We came together a few years ago and then decided after a beautiful meeting with Dave Steffen out at Paradise Studios, all three of us sat down and we formed this beautiful partnership for business. And so we're located right on the other side of Lincoln and the other side of Omaha. So we're halfway in between. So in Ashland, Nebraska, you can find us. Paradise Studios is where we do our work. And I invite anybody out, man, to look us up, give us a call, theparadisestudios.com, Triune Beats, TRIUNE beats.com. Check us out, man. And so since then, we've been just continuing the work of building the sound that is here in Nebraska. I personally have also written a book. If you haven't checked it out, it's called Never Give Up: Maintaining Motivation in Music by Jay Keys, Jaykeys. And I'm grateful for that because that is everything that I've learned over the last 30 years of doing music. And I put it all in a quick read. It's only 33 pages. Shout out to my father. That's his number. And I put 33 pages of just wealth of information that I could do that inspired and motivated me. So now we're getting ready to drop the new single, Unstoppable. Yeah, and it's gonna be streaming everywhere, man. So that's the new thing. That's the new wave. That's the new feeling. The emotion is I want to give people a chance to just speak out and say, you know what, whatever you have going on in your life, be unstoppable.
Well, look, man, I appreciate everything that you have shared with us, but I have got to ask one last question. I ask every guest: when you do find some downtime, which I know is very scarce, how you get your happy on, man?
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. My happiness comes first from God, second from my family. But most importantly, also, it comes from the mission statement that my partner and I created behind our business, which is Triune Beats, helping artists become the best version of themselves.
That's what's up. Man, I just got to say thank you, Jay. Man, you came down here on, you didn't have to do it, and you did.
Man, bless. Appreciate you, sir.
And thank you so
Absolutely.
much for being a part of my documentary, too.
Come on, man.
And that means the world to me. And we're going to have more on that at a later date. But, man, this dude did a fantastic job in my documentary. Just a great, great human being. And I'm really, really proud of him because I met him under really bad conditions, and he's turned it a negative into a positive. And I think that's really important.
Yes,
but I wrap up every show every week the same way, so we ain't gonna stop now.
Yes, sir.
Every day you blessed the same. It's just another day in paradise. No matter what, you gotta get your happy on. We'll see y'all next Sunday.
Hey.